Toda Yehovah, to the supreme intellect of the universe, for allowing us to be here this evening. Toda Yehovah, Most High King. Oh, you're so worthy to be praised. Toda Yehovah, brothers and sisters, here we are on another Erev Shabbat service. Woo, hallelujah. Nishlackyah. Okay, hallelujah. Nishlackyah about that. Computer was acting up. But again, Toda Yehovah, Most High King, for allowing us to make it through another week. Toda Yehovah, Most High, for all the many, many blessings you've bestowed upon us. I pray that everyone had a blessed and glorious day. I pray that your week was successful. Man. First and foremost, I'd like to say, Toda Yehovah, to the supreme intellect of the universe, for all things and everything. And then secondly, I would like to give thanks to Chief Prince Zippor of Shema Yisrael, the founder of Shema Yisrael. Toda Yehovah for your life. Toda Yehovah for my Ish, Chief Malachi as well. Toda Yehovah, Most High King. Oh, man. So without further delay, I'm going to get started with the prayers for the Shabbat day. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Starting in Psalms 92. Hallelujah. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Jehovah and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High. To declare thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness in the night. With the instrument of 10 strings and with the psaltery, with a solemn sound upon the harp. For thy Jehovah has made me glad through thy work. I will exult in the works of thy hands. How great are thy works, O Jehovah, thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they should be destroyed forever. But thou, O Jehovah, O Most High, O Jehovah, art on high forevermore. Below thy enemies, O Jehovah, below thy enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn has thou exalt like the horn of a wild ox. I am anointed with fresh oil. My eyes also has gazed on them that lie in wait for me. My ears have heard my desire of the evildoers that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Jehovah. They shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to show that Jehovah is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hallelujah. Please now turn to Psalms 125. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They that trust in Jehovah shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains around about Jerusalem, so Jehovah round about his people, from henceforth even forever. For the right of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Do good, O Jehovah, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. As for such that turn aside to their crooked ways, Jehovah shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity. But peace shall be upon Israel. Hallelujah. Please turn to the book of Isaiah, chapter 58. The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, starting at the verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Jehovah honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own wanting ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Jehovah, And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father. For the mouth of Jehovah has spoken it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now please turn to the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 6, starting at verse 4. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shema Yisrael, Yehovah Eloheinu, Yehovah Echad. Hear, O Yisrael, Yehovah our God, Yehovah is one. And thou shalt love Yehovah thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be when Jehovah thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he swore to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou forget Jehovah, which brought thee forth out the land of Egypt, out the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear Jehovah thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye should not go after the gods of the people which are round about you. For Jehovah thy God is a jealous God amongst you. Lest the anger of Jehovah thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Hallelujah. To the God of Abraham, to the God of Isaac, and to the God of Jacob, to the Most High King. To thee shall we give all glory, honor, and praises to. Hallelujah. Toda Yehovah, Most High King, again for allowing us to make it through another week, dear Heavenly Father. Toda Yehovah, for your mercy. Toda Yehovah, Most High King, for allowing us to be awoken to who we are, dear Heavenly Father, and to know who you are in truth, dear King. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that you be with the words that come forth out of my lips. May they be yours, without Shabbat. Most High King, please be with my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth, dear Heavenly Father. Oh, there is none like unto you, Most High King. Most High King, please be with the leader again of Shema Yisrael, Chief Prince Support, dear Heavenly Father. Please watch over him, protect him, and shield him, and guide him, dear King. Most High, please be with all those who may not be feeling well this evening, dear Heavenly Father. Please heal them, protect them, Most High King. For you are the doctor of doctors, the Dr. Shaddai. Most High King, please be with those who may be incarcerated, dear Heavenly Father. Dear Heavenly Father, please be with the elders of this nation, Dr. Shaddai. Most High King, you are so worthy to be praised. Most High King, I pray that the words that I share and the lesson that I share, dear Heavenly Father, may touch someone's soul, Dr. Shaddai. There is none like unto thee, Most High King. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. I'm going to be reading from the book of Psalms, Psalms 40. Now here, Psalms 40 is a psalm that was written by the chief musician, a psalm of David, the beloved of the Most High. This was a psalm that he wrote. And I will begin.
Psalms 40, starting at verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I waited patiently for Jehovah, and he inclined unto me, and heard my cry.
So as my reader read, she stated, King David mentioned, I waited patiently for the Most High. Patiently, tolerant, understanding, capable of bearing delay, not hasty. All too often, many times, we truly are not always patient in waiting for things in our lives. We live in a time and an age where everything goes zoom, 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 real fast with the technology, the computers, the cell phones. Everything is constantly moving at such a rapid pace. But sometimes we have to know when to just chill and fall back and be patient and wait on the Most High. I'm going to share a little something. This week, Most High willing, Hashem spare life. In the next 48 hours, it will be my birthday. But with saying that, my mother, may the Most High continue to bless her, Linda Williams, sent me a gift this week, Torah, and it came on a Wednesday. So she gave me a call today, and with enthusiasm, she was like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" And I said, "Yes, Amy. Yes, Mom. I got it. I got your present." She's like, "Well, do you like it?" Well, I said, "Honestly, I don't know. I haven't opened it up yet." And she's, her response was that of shock. She was like, "Oh, okay. You didn't open it yet. All right. Well, good for you." And I said, "Can't, Amy, Torah, thank you. Yes, I am patient." She was like, "Okay, that's cool. So I guess I'll call you on Yom Rishon on Sunday and find out how you like the gift." But not to say that I didn't want to open it. It's not to say that I don't want to look at it and see what it is. But I am using patience. I'm practicing patience. I'm being patient and waiting because I don't want to be presumptuous either. Hashem spare life again, Most High willing. I'll live to see my birthday in the next 48 hours. But no one can tell what the future is going to hold. I couldn't tell you, God forbid, I can pass away in my sleep, whatever. So I don't like to be presumptuous, But being patient is basically what I brought that story up about. Practice being patient. Even when you may at times really want to just go ahead and jump into a situation, sometimes it's cool just to sit back and be easy and meditate on it, or just wait. And then another point just comes to me as well. Also, with the male and the female, the brothers and the sisters, sometimes we can be impatient when it comes to relationships. We don't always exercise patience a lot of times, and we rush into courtships or marriages without really truly taking the time to get to grow and to know an individual well enough. We, in those particular instances, are not being patient enough. We rush into it because we may be lonely. We deal too much with emotion instead of logic and reason. So when it comes to relationships, we should also practice being more patient. Take the time to really grow and to know someone before we say, "You know what, we're married," or "We're going to go ahead and have a ceremony," and so forth and so on. Practice patience.
He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings.
Stop right there. So my reader read, he brought me up out of a horrible pit. Now when I read this, what came to my mind, what came to my heart even, is when there was times in my life when I felt like I was in a really dark place. In a really dark place. Because if you think of a pit, if you think of, the image of what a pit looks like, it's usually like a hole in the ground, and it's dark and it may be damp, And for me, like I said, there was a time when I felt like I was in a dark, gloomy place. Out of the murky clay and set my feet upon the rocks. But as time went on, hallelujah, the Most High brought me up out of that murky clay. Washed me off, and then set me upon a rock. Now, if you envision what a rock is, it's something sturdy. It's hard. It's firm. Some rocks are not so easy to just push around either. It's firm. So the Most High took me out of that dark place. So if there's any of you in the sound of my voice who are listening, watching this evening, this night, and you feel like your world is just so gloomy and dark, just understand and know that it will not last forever. It will not last forever. Just wait patiently on the Most High. Lean and trust. Put your trust in the supreme intellect of the universe. And know that this too will pass. And the Most High will establish you. When the time is right, He will establish you and guide your goings.
And He hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise our Lord. Many shall see it, and fear, and shall trust in Jehovah.
And He has put a new song in my mouth. Hallelujah. So as I was before, I was in the murky place. I was in this horrible pit, and then the Most High brought me up out of this clay, out of this murky clay, and placed me on solid ground, on a rock, and established my goings. Now my heart is glad. Now I'm at Torah Yehovah. I'm at peace. So now I can sing me a new song. I got a pep in my step now. I'm moving with a purpose. Moving with a purpose. As before it was, I hope this may happen, or I may sing, may tend to say negative things like I hope and I think, or I'm going to try. Those are weak words to use when you are trying to make positive moves in your life. If you're trying to really succeed and move ahead, you can't use weak words to make an action come about. It's not going to happen that way. So my song now, when I sing my song, I'm saying I am successful. I am worthy to be blessed. I am. My song is more uplifting now than it was in the past. So I pose this question to you now. What is your song? And if your song is not really portraying where you want to be and what you want to see happening in your life, then you need to change the tune. You need to change your song. So this way, more positive things can happen for you and for those who you love and care for as well. Because when you get blessed, then you become a shining light, and then everybody else is able to enjoy that blessing that you have upon you as well. So change your song. Change your song. As it says here, He has put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it. So now when you start moving with a new step, you know what I'm saying? And now you're moving and you got a pep and everything, and you're happy and you're joyous. That's going to exuberate through you. That's going to come forth through you. You're going to beam like a ray of sunshine. People are going to be drawn to your positiveness. People are going to want to come and learn more about who you are, because now you look happy. You look at peace. But that's only if you are putting yourself, you opening yourself up to the Creator of heaven and earth, the true and living, the Most High. You allow Him to bless you, to give you that knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. And you have that fear. You have that fear to do anything wrong. You have that fear to not keep His Sabbath the way that He asked you to do it. You have that fear not to keep the holy seasons when they are appointed to be kept. You're going to have that fear to know, okay, you know what? I have to arrive at my Knesset on time because my leader has requested for me to be there on time. So you know what? I don't want to be late. And by respecting your elders, you are giving respect to the Creator. As it tells us in Shemot in Exodus 20, honor thy father and thy mother. So if you have a leader, they almost become like your spiritual parent. So if your Abba or Emi request you to do something, do it. Please continue reading.
Verse 4. Blessed is the man that maketh Jehovah his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies.
Okay. So blessed is the man that maketh the Most High his trust. Trust in the Most High. Trust in Him. None other. He doesn't have a sidekick. He doesn't have anybody else sitting on his right or on to his left. It's just him and him alone. That's it. There's no one else. Just the Most High. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Sometimes I look on Facebook and I see Christians, some Christians that I have tagged on as friends. Some of them are people that I've actually, known from my past before I even woke up to the truth. And now it has changed in the way in which they speak even. They're not just calling out to JC anymore. Now they're actually saying the Most High. But I have this question though, and with them saying the Most High, are they still referring to JC? Because to my understanding, if I remember correctly, they all supposed to be one in some shape or form. The Father, the Son, and whatever. So I don't know. That hasn't been made clear to me. I still don't quite get that. But I'm going to say, when I say the Most High, I'm talking about the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. That's it. He stands alone. Please continue, verse 5.
Many, O Lord my God, are thy wonderful works which thou hast done, and thy thoughts which are to us forward. They cannot be reckoned up in order upon thee. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. 6. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire, mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings hast thou not required. Then
So what my reader read is, I'm going to go to verse 6. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. My ears hast thou opened. Burnt offerings, sin offerings hast thou not required. I want to ask for you guys to turn to the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, starting at chapter 1, verse 11. Again, the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, starting at verse 11. Okay.
Isaiah chapter 1, starting at verse 11. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams, and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or he goats.
Stop right there. So going back to Psalms chapter 40, verse 6, sacrifices and offerings thou didst not desire. My ears hast thou opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings hast thou not required. So now here in Isaiah is saying that the Most High, He doesn't want the offerings anymore. So if anybody is saying, well, we can't keep the Shabbat day because we have to give sacrifices up to the Most High King, but it states here that's no longer necessary. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto the Most High? it has no purpose anymore because we did it, we took advantage of it, and we still wasn't keeping the law. So he did away with that. He doesn't take any pleasure in it. So done with that idea. We don't need to do the sacrifices. Continue in verse 12, please.
When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand? To tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot obey with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting.
Okay, stop right there. So again, now it states, bring no more vain obligations, or incense is an abomination unto the Most High. However, the new moons and the Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot do away with. So even to this day, the Sabbaths, the new moons, the holy days, we're about to come into a holy season real soon. These things he has not done away with. Granted, we can't burn any bullocks, we can't do any sheep, he goats, none of those things. We can't do any of those things. Can't burn any incense. But we can still observe and commemorate and observe to the best of our ability the holy days as it states here. Continue in verse 14.
Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before me, before my eyes. Speak down. Cease to do evil.
Okay, so it says here, wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes, and cease from doing evil. Cease from going astray from the law statutes of the Most High. Cease from that. Cease from doing the evils. So that when we do observe these holy days, when we do observe the Sabbath and the feast days, the Most High can find pleasure in us observing these things again. He doesn't take any pleasure in it if we're doing evil, if we're being wicked, we're committing adultery, we stealing, we robbing, we coveting. He doesn't take any pleasure in that because you coming up to the Knesset, the temple, wherever you coming up to worship, you may be coming in all your finery and so forth and looking all decked out and smelling sweet and perfumed and everything. And you speaking the good word, you speaking out of this holy book, the Tanakh. But your life is dirty. That's an oxy, that doesn't make any sense. That's low tone. So then in that instance, the Most High is not going to take any pleasure in the things that we are doing because we're not living 100. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're faking it. If you in this way of life and you're not in it for 100 and you doubting, and just step aside to somebody who really truly wants to learn and be there, let them come on and take that seat. Don't waste people's time. Nobody has time for that. Times are really crazy right now, and we don't have time for stupidity. That time is done. Like, it's time to move on and come together in unity, come together in truth. Come together in truth. So this way the Most High can have mercy on us and find favor in us and return us back to our land. Because ultimately, that's really what we all striving for when the day the Most High returns and brings us back home to our land, to our country, so we could be a nation. It says, I'm going to read it. It says in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Learn to do well. Learn to do well. Learn to be good. When Cain murdered his brother Abel and he was destroyed and his countenance fell, the Most High looked at Cain and he said, well, if you yourself don't do well, would I not be pleased with you? You have to do well. Learn to do well. Be good. On a day-to-day basis, not just on the Shabbat, not just when you're coming out on the holy days. Do good, be good every day, so that when you are presenting yourself or whatever, yourself and whatever you may have to the Creator, He can find pleasure in that. Because you didn't just take that one moment in time to do something good. You good all the time. Let's go back to the book of Psalms. I think we stopped at verse 7. Okay, go ahead and read.
Psalms 40, verse 7. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart.
Stop right there. I delight to do thy will. So take pleasure, delight, yearn to do His will. To do His will, not yours. Because we tend to believe that things are right in our own mind. But pray for guidance. Pray that whatever moves you're making, whatever road you're on, whatever path you are taking, it's not your own. It's the path that was destined for you from the Creator, for you to travel. So make sure that it's His will. And have that law within your heart. Your heart pumps blood all throughout your body. From the crown of your head all the way down to the sole of your feet. It pumps life in you. So keep this law in your heart at all times. In doing the delight to being a delight, by keeping this law close to you, it also brings to my mind also, it reminds me of when I was a congregant in the congregation of Shema Yisrael, right? I enjoyed being in the midst of my brothers and sisters. It gave me joy. I found delight in being in a place with like minds. And in doing that, it gave me nothing but joy whenever a new person would come through the door to just say, you know what, let me make that person feel welcome and comfortable. Because I could only imagine, I remember when I first arrived, how nervous I was. So with remembering how nervous I was, I try to make sure that, this next new person is comfortable, at ease, take away some of that nervousness that they may have by giving them a warm smile and a friendly greeting. So I say the same thing to the sisters, now that I've left, to the sisters that are there, we have really great sisters at Shema Yisrael. Hallelujah. Torah Yehovah for their lives and they due diligence. So to newcomers and you're interested and you was thinking about visiting, come on through, come by, come visit Shema Yisrael in Brooklyn, New York, and congregate with us, eat with us, pray with us. The Most High is great. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Verse 40, chapter 40, verse 1.
I have preached righteousness and the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips, O Jehovah, thou knowest. I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation.
I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. What's the sense of having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and not sharing it with somebody or with people? What would be the purpose of that, you know? So with knowing who you are, share it with your coworkers, share it with your classmates. Share it. Spread the word. Let that righteousness just go forth throughout the earth. Speak about the greatness of the Most High. You know, a lot of people really don't know who the Most High is. You know, a lot of times they give thanks to like Mother Nature when we know that it's the creator of heaven and earth who's in control of the elements, you know. But people have become so accustomed to giving thanks to so many other things and whatever superstition that they really don't give the glory where it needs to go, which is to the supreme intellect of all things and everything, the Most High. So share that word. Preach that righteousness in the great congregation. Don't refrain your lips. When you see an opportunity to speak on something, speak on it. And the Most High, he's all-knowing. He's everywhere. He sees everything. So he knows. Don't worry about it. He knows. Verse 11, please.
Withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Jehovah. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth continually preserve me.
Stop right here. So King David is saying, withhold not thy tender mercies from me, O Jehovah. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth, his truth, continually preserve me. Keep me safe. May it protect me. And if you study in these laws and statutes and these commandments, and you take the time and you find the time in your life, and I understand we have busy lives, you know, many of us work, we have families, you know, some of us are caregivers, mothers, fathers, whatever. I mean, I understand, I get it. But if you could just find maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes out your day, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, night, whatever is convenient, whatever is easier for you. But put in that time, though. That's the most important thing. You have to put in that time. You have to put in that time to fortify your shield that is going to be around you with allowing the Most High to be there, to preserve you, allowing the Most High to come into your heart. He will protect you, but you have to put forth that effort. You really have to put forth that effort. And it's worth it. I can testify to that. It is so worth it. So I share that with you. Please put in the time. Put in that time. Show him that you are worthy. Show him that you want to be something great. Show the Most High. Put in that time. You want to be successful. You want to have passive money. You want to have a family. Whatever it is you desire. You want all of these things, but you got to put in that time and that effort and show the Most High that you're worthy to even deserve it. You have to put in that time. Verse 12.
But innumerable evils have compassed me about. My iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head. Therefore, my heart faileth me.
Stop right there for a second. I want to have you read and turn to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29, please. And also to those listening, I said to my reader to turn to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29, starting at verse 10. And while she's turning to that, I'm going to read again what she just read in Psalms. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. My iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head, therefore my heart faileth me. Be pleased, O Jehovah, to deliver me, O Jehovah. Make haste to help me. Right? So here you have the psalmist, King David. He's just bringing to our face to show us that he did have moments in his life when he felt downtrodden, he felt in trouble, he had evils for whatever reason that was in his way, that was in his life. And this is how he dealt with it. He went to the Most High and he pleaded with the Most High. He said, please, Most High, please be with me, deliver me. Make haste, Most High, please hear my cry, hear me. And this is the psalmist, the beloved of the Most High. The Most High loved him because when he repented for his sins and when he prayed and when he wrote his psalms, it was so poetic and so beautiful, and it really touched the Most High. And it continues reading in verse 14 in Psalms. Let them be ashamed and confounded together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be driven backward and put to shame that wish me evil. So he's saying to the Creator, like, do away with the evildoers, push them back. Let them feel shame and even wishing any harm towards me. Let them be desolate for a reward of their shame that say to me, ha ha. So let them feel ashamed, those who laugh when you feel hurt. But that's wicked. You're not supposed to take pleasure in somebody else getting a mocker from the Most High. You gotta be careful when you do that, because if you do that, if you laugh when somebody's getting chastised and punished by the Creator and you're a witness to it and you laugh, the Most High can easily just take away whatever punishment you put on that person and put it on you. So don't do that. In verse 16 it says, let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, Jehovah be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Yet Jehovah thinketh upon me, thou art my help and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, O my King, O Most High. Now this is the song that King David wrote for himself. Individually, he was speaking of himself. But for a moment, I want us to go over this one more time again and consider if we was to just change a few words a little bit. Instead of where it says me, say we. Because we are a nation and we all in need of help of the Most High as a whole. As a whole. Right now is a time for unity. We need to come together and be stronger together, not separate, not apart. You know, right now we're too scattered mentally right now in doctrine. Like some people do the holy days here, some people do the holy days there. We need to really figure out a way how we can bring it all back together again and be one and cry out to the Most High as one people. As one people. I had my reader turn to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 10. Please read that, please.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 10. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with all the men of the Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy strangers that in thy camp, from the hayward of the wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with Jehovah thy God, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh thee this day.
Okay, so here, going back into Deuteronomy, this is during the time of Moshe, right? And you stand this day, all of you, before Jehovah your God, and captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy strangers. So that means also there was other people that was with us who wasn't just people of color, or I should say just not Israelites, because back in those days everybody had brown skin, but you know, it was just in different hues of brown, light brown, dark brown, medium brown, whatever. But we had strangers with us nonetheless, people who was not from the line of Shem. So this way of life is not just for Israelites. It's for all mankind. All mankind is supposed to be keeping the laws and statutes of the Most High. All mankind is supposed to be wanting, striving, yearning to live uprightly, to be righteous. So the little ones, your wives, the stranger that is in thy camp, from the hew of the wood onto the drawer of the waters. It doesn't matter what your occupation is. It doesn't matter if you way up here or if you way down here. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we all one in the eyes of the Most High. That thou shouldest enter into the covenant with Jehovah thy God, and into his oath, which Jehovah thy God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a God, as he has said unto thee, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov. The Most High will establish us. He loves us. We are his people. And here he swore to Father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he would give us all the blessings and love us and take care of us. But we got to adhere to the things that we promised that we would adhere to long time ago. We can't stop keeping these laws. Neither with you only do I make this covenant. And it says here in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 14, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here, meaning the people that were standing there in that very moment in time, but also with us this day before Jehovah our God, and also with him that is not here with us. So even for the generations that was to come after them, hence here we are today in 2017. We are that generation that was not there at that time, but was to come. So we're still being held accountable to these laws and these words that were spoken eons ago. The law has not been done away with. I know we use the term Old Testament and then we have the New. No, it was never done away with. It's not old. It's still irrelevant even to this day. For you know, in verse 16, for you know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which you passed by. And you have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them. These there should be among you men or women or family or tribes whose heart turneth away this day from Jehovah our God, to go and serve the gods of these nations. We're not supposed to go after the gods of the other nations, whether it's wood or stone, it doesn't matter. We're not supposed to do it. We're not supposed to do it. Only serve the true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's it. No more, no less. That's it. To serve the gods of these nations, these there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. And it came to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he blessed himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart, to add drunkenness to thirst. So there's many people out there, and I'm sure a lot of us have come across individuals, you know, they just insist on doing what they want to do, no matter how much you may try to share some wisdom with them and share some knowledge with them and explain to them, well, you know, JC is not the way, or my you know, going the Muslim way is not the way, or Buddhist, whatever the case may be, that's not the way. This is the way that we're supposed to go. This was what the Most High of heaven and earth had intended for his children to do, and so forth. But they still bless themselves. They say, well, you know what, I made it this far for this long. It's all good. I'm blessed. But you know, in all actuality, that's not really the case. So they walk in their own imaginations saying, I'm blessed in my heart. I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart. Well, this is what it says what the Most High is going to do with an individual who's who's stiff-necked, really. It tells you here in verse 20, it says, Jehovah will not spare him, but then the anger of Jehovah and his jealousy shall smoke against that man or woman, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And Jehovah shall blot out his name from under the heavens. So whether you want to acknowledge the fact that you're supposed to keep this way of life and adhere to these laws and statutes is irrelevant, because as long as you are a descendant of Father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you still are supposed to really keep these laws and statutes. If you're listening to this program right now, then you're in a step in the right direction. So what do you do with this information now that you hear it? Turn back again to Psalm 40, and then I'll soon close out. Okay, so now that we're back in the book of Psalms 40, I'm going to reread from verse 14 to 17, and then I'll close out. But we're going to reread this. And again, remember I mentioned before, just imagine if we was to just change a few of the words as where it says my or me, and think of us and we. And I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it, okay? I'm going to read it. Verse 14, and it says, let them be ashamed and confound together that seek after our soul, us as a people, together, family. I'm talking about all of us. Our soul, to destroy it. Let them be driven back and put to shame that wish all of us any type of evil. We living in a time where with politics and society and everything, people are trying to hurt us as a people. So may the Most High push them back. Let them be destroyed for a reward of their shame, that say unto us, ha ha. You have people that laugh when they see a man of color or a sister of color or a child of color getting hurt, murdered, or whatever. You have people out there, really evil people, who take pleasure in that. They laugh, they have parties or cookout or whatever, they barbecues. They like that. That's wicked, that's wrong, that's evil. But there's people that do that. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, the Most High be magnified. So may the Most High's glory, may the Most High be magnified in worship, in praise. May his salvation come and deliver us, I pray, Most High. Please deliver your children, my brothers and sisters. Deliver us. Be our Savior. Please hear our cries and prayer. But I am poor and needy, yet Jehovah thinketh upon me. Thou art my help, my deliverer, our deliverer. Make no tarrying, O Most High. Please return yourself back onto us, B'Vakashah Yehovah. Please deliver us up out of this land, B'Vakashah, and bring us back to our home, B'Vakashah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I pray that it was something out of what I said that you enjoyed and you found pleasure in. May the Most High allow you to have a good night. I pray that you wake up tomorrow feeling refreshed, and may you have a successful week. I pray that the Most High watches between me and thee while we absent one from another. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's say close out prayer. Prayer.
Hallelujah.
To the God of Abraham, to the God of Isaac, and to the God of Jacob, to the Most High King, to these should be given all glory, honor, and praises to. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Torah Yehovah, Most High King, Torah Yehovah, for allowing us again to make it through another week. Torah Yehovah, Most High King, for you're so wonderful. You're so magnificent. Torah Yehovah, Most High King. Oh, dear Heavenly Father, please be with those individuals, families in Texas. Please be with those who lost loved ones during the flood, during the hurricane, Most High King. Please be with those who have lost their homes, who may be hungry. Most High King, please watch over them. Please watch over your children, dear Heavenly Father. Most High King, please be with those individuals in Florida who are hurting right now because they've lost all their possessions. If it be your will, Most High King, watch over them, protect them, Most High King. Most High King, sort of Jehovah for life, dear Heavenly Father. Most High King, please be with Chief Prince of Poor. I pray that he has a good night rest, Nishlackyah. I pray that tomorrow when he brings the word to the people, Most High, may it be yours. May you be with his lips, Nishlackyah. Please be with his family. Most High King, please be with all the chief men, the princesses. Please be with the elders of Israel, Most High King. Please be with the elders and other Knesset and other camps, Nishlackyah. Most High King, please be with my East Chief Malachi. Please watch over him, continue to bless his works. Please, Most High King. Please be with my sister wife, Princess Nakamiya, and our children. Please be with all our loved ones. Please be with those who are sick and not doing too good this evening, Most High King. Watch over them, protect them, heal them, take away their pain, Nishlackyah. Most High King, you're so worthy to be praised. Glory be to our high and holy name. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. Amen. Please tune in tomorrow at 10:30 to Shema Yisrael. If you have any questions about this evening service, please feel free to type it in at the bottom of this here webpage. Love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed night. Hallelujah. Shalom. Hallelujah.